Good day everyone, welcome back to BST African Electronic Surgery, and it's Friday. We have some kind of jobs. These jobs, they are coming from another computer repair shop. It's like two laptops. We have this and we have this one. All they came in for repair. So what we have on top, we have HP EliteBook 820G1. The laptop came in as no power. The owner phoned me about this laptop. He said the laptop is just have some flashing lights and it's not turning on, it's not doing anything. That's the story about this HP. And what is the other one? Yeah, the other one came in like this. This one also came in as no power. It's some kind of HP 250G6 motherboard, if I can see properly. The laptop also came in as no power. So should we start with this one? Let's start with this one, which is already opened. Let's start to fix this one. Okay, the back cover is not there. We have the motherboard, some kind of switch. So what's the story here? We don't know yet. We don't know yet, but let's see. The power supply is set on 19 volts, around the 3.5 amps. You can see on the screen. Good. So plug in the charger. It's taking 3.5 amps, and there's voltage drop to 6 volts. So it is a disaster here. We have a shorted motherboard. You can see on the screen, this motherboard is shorted, and even if we check, we don't have any sign of light here. So we have a situation here. Diode mode. Diode mode. What we will check from this side of the board, we have these capacitors, 0 ohms. Another power supply here, ceramic capacitors, 0 ohms. Another power supply here, ceramic capacitors, 0 ohms. Okay. And what we have to do here, we have to take out the motherboard. It is one way here. We have to take out the motherboard. So the motherboard is out. So yeah, the motherboard looks dirty. It's very dirty. This is some kind of very dirty motherboard. Here we have a blown up component here, which I believe is the MOSFET which is switching power to the USB. Yeah, it is here. There's a blown up MOSFET here. Okay. Otherwise, all components looks fine, but they are only dirty. On the other side, we have another blown up component here. I think it's better to go under microscope and see what I'm seeing here. So let's see what I'm seeing under microscope. Let's see what I'm seeing here. Let us inspect the motherboard. Yeah, the motherboard looks dirty. We have this component. Here, it is a blown up component, this one. This is just a MOSFET. We use switching power to the USB, because here we have two USB ports. So that is our problem. And on the other hand, what do we have here? We have the ENE chip. One second. So let's see what's going on here with this motherboard. Let's see. Our first problem is this chip. We have a blown up chip here, which I believe this chip is the switching power, which is going to the USB here. But we can check. We can check with the test meter. This is the plus, and it's connected here. It's going to this capacitor. From this capacitor, it's going straight to this MOSFET. So this MOSFET is just a switching 5 volts to the USB. Fine. Our second problem is here. Here, we have a blown up chip. This chip has got a hole on top. And this power supply is next to the RAM. You can see the RAM sockets. So I believe this power supply has something to do with the RAM. Has something to do with the RAM power supply. So this chip has got a hole. That is our problem. Our second problem. So I'll check this coil to ground. It is beeping to ground. We have a short here. On the output we have a short. What about on the DC input MOSFETs? Here, these are DC input MOSFET. The input, output of the first MOSFET, output of the second MOSFET is shorted to ground. So what I will do, I'll concentrate on this chip with a hole. But this is the driver for the RAM voltage here. This looks like the driver for the USB. So I think I have many boards like that. All what we have to do is to replace this chip. Chip position. We need to replace that chip quickly because it's faulty. The chip has got a hole on top and the RAM power supply is grounded. So let's take out the chip and check for short on the same coil. The chip is out. So let's go straight on that coil and check for short. Ground. Yeah, the coil is too shorted to ground. Let's check out the RAM. Let's test again. Okay. Here on the, what about on the input MOSFETs? We still have a shorted output. That's interesting. So let's start by replacing that chip. Let's start by replacing that chip. Let's start by replacing that chip. Let's replace that chip quickly. The chip is now in place. So, but we still have a short. We still have a short, that is the problem. Let's go on the other chip here. Let's replace that chip. That is our second problem. I have an identical board, so I'm just taking similar chips from the other board and try to rebuild this motherboard back to life. We need to replace that chip quickly. Yeah, this motherboard looks like it's got too many faults. And I don't know why. I don't know how did this happen. We need some soldering wire here. Now looks better. Let's now put the chip. Now the MOSFET is now in place. So the question is, Do we still have a shorted main 19 volts power rail? I think we still have a problem. Huh? Zero. Okay. This motherboard looks very dead. Huh? So let's wait for the board to cool down and then we check other things here. Let's see now. We have replaced the driver for the RAM power supply. We replaced the MOSFET, which is switching 5 volts to the USB. But the problem is the main 19 volts power rail is still shorted to ground. You see? Exactly on the current sensor is 0 ohms. We still have a short. So we have to come with the power supply. We have to come with the power supply here. Ground. Let's lower the voltage. Let's go straight on the current sensor. And it's taking 1.4. 3 point something volts. And it's taking 2.9, 3 amps. This is a bad sign. We have a shorted motherboard. What else is shorted here? This motherboard. Hey, it is a disaster. I'll tell you where the heat is coming from. What is here? Something is not right here. We have a very big problem here. Let's use alcohol here. Well, something is not right here. Let's inject the power. What is the problem here? Huh? Power. That MOSFET is boiling. Huh? That MOSFET is not good. That MOSFET is not good. It's gone. So okay. Let's see whether it's a MOSFET or it's a chip. Let's take down that thing. Which is the problem? This is a dual MOSFET. This is a dual MOSFET for that driver. So that driver blown up and the MOSFET also died. Same power supply, that's the RAM power supply. Let me look for the one. This is a very bad situation. Fault after fault. How many faults on this motherboard? The MOSFET is now in place. Very simple. Now, the question is, do we still have a shorted main 19 volts power rail? We'll check. Let's check again on this. No, it's not shorted anymore. On the RAM power supply, do we still have a short? I wonder how this motherboard died. We still have a problem on the RAM power supply. We still have a problem. We still have a problem here. Let's do further checking on this motherboard. What we did, we replaced this driver for the RAM, but we still have a short. I'll stick one probe to the ground and one on the coil, and it's beeping to ground. You can see the RAM power supply is meant to work with the 1.3, 1.4 volts, and the resistance to ground should not be like 0 ohms resistance. So we still have a problem here. Okay, fine. Let's check out the coils just to see if it's worth it to carry on with this repair. This coil is beeping to ground, 0 ohms. This is not. We have another coil here, like 0 ohms. Okay. We do have the BIOS here. Let me take the heatsink out. I'm starting to doubting this motherboard. Otherwise, it's a matter of wasting time here. Why every coil is beeping to ground? How is that possible? We do have the BIOS here. I'll check straight away pin number 4 is ground. Pin number 8 0. So even the 3.3 is not right. Here we have another coil here next to the screen connector here. Zero. I don't think the processor for this motherboard, I don't think it's alive. Let's test. I don't think we have a working processor here. 1.8. Let's go to 1.8. We don't know this BIOS chip is working with the 3.3 or 1.8. What do you think is taking that power? What do you think is taking that power? This is the processor. Going on pin number 8 of the BIOS. Check the processor. This liquid is drying very quickly. Yeah, the processor is gone. Let's go to 1 volt. With 1 volt, we can't burn anything. Let's go on those power supplies. This one with 1 volt is taking 2.4 amps. And the processor is getting very hot. Here we have another coil here. With 1 volt is taking 2 amps. And these coils, they are together. You see these coils? This is the 3.3 and 5 volts power supply. And the one of the coils is beeping to ground, which I believe is the 3.3, which is shorted to ground. So here we have a problem. It's beeping to ground. Maybe it is the controller which is also gone. Because we have a controller here. Now, I'm not going to fix this, but I just want to show you how many faults do we have on this motherboard. Just to understand what I can't fix. Was obvious I'm not going to fix this. This capacitor is showing a short. Okay. .4. Yeah, the controller is getting very hot with 1 volt. So we have many faults. It's not worthy to repair this. Yeah, it is getting very hot. So we have a dirty controller, we have a dirty processor, Something is wrong with the RAM power supply. It's still shorted to ground. Probably that double MOSFET which you put is also faulty. So this is some kind of job from other technician. Obviously they won't pay. So it's not worth it to carry on this repairs. Just a waste of time. 30 minutes just spent for nothing. So let us try to fix his second laptop. Okay, see you on the next repair. Bye.